All right. What's going on, everybody? My name is Crypto Corey. I want to thank you for joining me. It has been a minute. Obviously, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm more of a vlogger, so I'm not going to be making videos every day, every 2 days. I'll just make content whenever I feel like it, because I care less about how many views and likes I get, and I just care more about the people who do like my content. They just find some information in it that they personally like. It helps them out. That's all I'm really caring about. I'm not really trying to influence a group or be the top dog, or not really trying to make money on YouTube, although I've heard there's plenty of money to be made there. But I had to get on and talk about this. Wyre, a payment service that typically what they'll do is they'll put money in and out of various forms of Web3 companies, Veve being one of them. They have gone under, and that's not a good thing. So Veve recently had partnered with Wyre sometime this year, and I've used Wyre in the past. I've never had any issues or anything. But if you were to ask me now, what do I actually do to like onboard money into crypto or anything? Honestly, right now I'm using an ACH transfer that comes directly from your bank into my exchange. Now that is at the cost of $3. So no matter how I can do millions of dollars, I can do $10. But regardless of the amount, it's a $3 fee to do an ACH transfer. And that's about it. So that's mostly what I do when I'm onboarding money into crypto or various crypto investments. With Veve, as of right now, and still, I mean, I haven't bought gems since August, and then before that, I hadn't bought gems since February. So in 2022, I haven't really bought gems. I've never sold anything or cashed out. I've never bought gems on the web app. I've only bought it on the mobile app, and I do it via credit card. $5 worth of gems is $4.99 US dollars. So technically I get a 1 cent discount on any gem purchase I make. So if I buy like $50 worth of gems, it will cost me $49.99, and I'll get 50 gems. So it's interesting because like other places I've heard they'll go to buy their gems, and like 10 gems might cost like $11 or like $10.50 or something. Like, so they're getting some type of a fee when they're buying their gems above the amount that they're trying to put in, where I actually get 1 cent discount per transaction. So it's an interesting concept that I've got. Most people don't, but I don't really use Wyre. But if you're kind of concerned about this whole Wyre thing that's going on, it is a concern. It's kind of a big deal. It's not some small deal. Veve had to issue a statement that they're halting all of this stuff, incoming, outgoing, and then they're currently trying to work with Wyre to get any transactions ingoing or outgoing, to get those finalized and to go through, so that way they do process. But future transactions, as of right now, are not going to take place. This is just par for the course right now for this time in the Veve cycle. That's what I'm calling a Veve cycle, because it still runs off of Bitcoin, but we'll just go ahead and kind of say they're their own animal. They have their own evaluation. They've got their own token. Economia has their own token. But it's kind of a hit for the industry in a general sense, and this will make people scared. It'll kind of have people worried, and if they can cash out right now, they're going to find any way they can to cash out. That will happen. But I would just tell everyone, just relax. In my opinion, we are either already have bottomed the crypto market as a whole, which would just be Bitcoin being the indicator. So, I'll say for Bitcoin, not for Veve or for other NFTs or other cryptos. So Bitcoin, we've either already bottomed, or we are really, really close to hitting bottom. The reason why I believe this is, let's say we've already bottomed, that means we already bottomed, and the length of the bear market was within a few weeks of the longest bear market we've ever had in recorded Veve or Bitcoin history. So that's if we've already done it. So we're right in that time frame of the bottom of the market. So it's either already happened and it happened right around the longest time frame, or it hasn't happened yet. And this will be the longest bear market Bitcoin's ever had. But from everything I'm seeing with the way the 200 weekly is, with the way that RSI currently is, just everything I'm looking at on a larger view of Bitcoin, everything's indicating that we are already bottomed, or we're about to bottom now. So I don't foresee us going 2-3 months and then bottoming. I foresee us bottoming in the next 2-3 weeks, if we haven't already bottomed. So what I'm doing, this is personally, it's all not financial advice, but I'm buying crypto right now. I'm flipping NFTs and I'm gaining gems. I do hodl a few things. Like I did buy the big Coke truck, which I knew was not going to be valuable, but I just personally like it, so I wanted it. So I waited until it was out on the market for a little while, and I tried to buy it as cheap as possible. I think I've lost about $1 worth of gem on it so far. But the same thing with like the bat signal. I wanted the bat signal. I think I got it for like 13 bucks. Not sure where the valuation for that bat cat or the bat symbol is right now. And I did buy up some more Coca-Cola stuff just because I collect Coca-Cola stuff, and they were like 8-9 gems each. So they're so cheap. That's just a meal at McDonald's, so it was worth just going and buying real quick, just to put into my personal collection for the future. But yeah, it's been interesting seeing the way the crypto world is working, Veve's working. I think we've pushed out all of the Veve futters. I think we've pushed out all of the paper hands, or at this point it wouldn't be paper hands. I'm not sure what you'd call someone who waits for the bottom of the market to sell. I almost feel like that's like maybe like wet toilet paper hands or something. It's weird that you would wait so long to cash out at a loss. Just kind of give you some quick heads up. I know this is mostly a video about Wyre. I'll probably title the video "Wyre Failed" or something. But if I were gonna kind of talk to people right now that are maybe they're like, oh, crypto went down, so does this mean I should buy? What should I buy? What are NFTs? What NFTs should I buy? If I were gonna give you like my advice for right now, non-financial advice, informational only, educational only, do your own research only advice, I would probably say if you're wanting to buy Veve collectibles, you should probably start buying sometime about now. The market might go down a little bit more, but everyone's been flushed out so much, I highly doubt it. So go ahead and start buying. These are probably the lowest or among the lowest that these prices will ever be for good items. I think you could still see some crashing and falling of non-useful items like a Toby or something, which I know has an art value, but besides the art value, crypto bros care far less about art value than the actual art community and physical collectible community. So yeah, this is time to start buying collectibles. If you're looking at crypto, I'm buying crypto. Right now, I am steadily buying crypto as much as I can. Anytime I get money free, I am investing it into crypto right now. I am still putting money into the Roth IRA very seldomly at the current moment, but I do need to make sure that I maintain every year I invest $6,000 into my Roth IRA, because that is the max amount I can put into a Roth IRA. Now, right now, when I'm buying a Roth IRA, I think I've switched up my strategy. I was doing mutual funds. I had 1 or 2 small individual stocks for companies that I believe are 100-year companies, that they'll be around here 100 years. So for the next 30 years, they'll definitely be around. So I would just assume those are good bets and stuff. But I've kind of shifted away from the mutual funds, because mutual funds I was looking at all over large cap mutual fund. I had a focused mutual fund on the medical industry, and then I had more of a small cap mutual fund as well. I won't go into which ones those are because just that'd be a long video to talk about each one. But that's what I was doing, and I feel like now, because of crypto and NFTs and other potential future investments that might be popping up in the next year for me, I've decided, I think with my Roth IRA, my focus is probably going to be on an index fund. Probably the S&P 500. It's safe. It's 8 to 12% annually on average. That's fine by me if I just keep investing $6,000 every year into it. Obviously that is pre-tax, so it will be tax-free when I cash out. I can cash out, I think, at like 66 and a half or something like that, 65 and a half, so I don't know, something like that. But I have to wait a long time. I'm almost 36, but basically I've got to wait another, 30 years before I can actually cash out of any of this stuff. So $6,000 a year at an average rate of about 10 to 12%. Very low fees to no fees, because I'm doing a passively managed index fund instead of an actively managed mutual fund or whatever. So by the end of 35 years, if the rates are historically fairly normal for the S&P 500 on average, that means that in about 35 years I will have about $1 million. So that's $1 million after taxes after 30 to 35 years. So that's just in one area. That's my $1 million area. My other areas, and this is kind of, if I can give you kind of like how I think about my investments. A lot of times I think to myself, like, okay, this is going to be investment for the future, long term, 10, 20, 30 years. That's what I'm thinking mostly. So I look at items that are going to perform well in those long time frames. And then what I do is I think about, well, I want to make $1 million. So let's say I want to make $1 million in NFTs. I would think, well, what single NFT or group of NFTs do I think, if I combine them now, at some point inside of 30 to 35 years, at some point, that portfolio should be worth $1 million. So that's how I'm thinking about things. That's why I'm accumulating currently in the NFT market, because I need more NFTs in my mind to be able to get that $1 million valuation in 30 years. Now, obviously, since I own AF15 Secret Rare, it could go well beyond that, but I only evaluated it at $100,000. And this is just in a current moment. Obviously, I think long term it's going to perform way better than that, but I'm thinking only short term, but I'm putting in a long term numbers because I'd rather be harsher on the money I think I'm going to earn, and that way, and be lighter on the money I think I'm investing. So that way I've got the best, most realistic scenario possible for all case scenarios. Another thing I will do is, like, I do think that we will see a $1 million Bitcoin one day. So my goal is to have one Bitcoin. But Bitcoin's not my current focus. My current focus actually is Matic, Ethereum. I did buy some OMI. It's gone down. I've lost about $20 on my OMI, which is whatever. But I'll buy some more. Maybe I'll buy it at this level. Maybe when I go to buy, it'll have gone up. I don't know. All I know is that's just how I DCA. And I'm not DCAing into Bitcoin every week. I'm not DCAing into OMI every week. I'm not DCAing into NFTs every week. I was doing every 3 days. I was investing in NFTs for a long time. But so what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of thinking every week I want to spend a certain amount DCA money on a crypto formal investment. So I'm just splitting that up and going around the room and buying what I need. And by the time I'm done buying, I will have bought however many percentages of each token I want. So Veve, the Akomi token, OMI, I'm just thinking that's going to be my lowest investment. I do have some Binance, which will be pretty low. if I even keep it long term. But like Matic, Ethereum, Cardano, Bitcoin, those I will try to steadily accumulate more and more and more of. I personally think I need one Bitcoin at some point. As far as Ethereum goes, I feel like I could be cool with like 100 to 200 Ethereum long term. OMI, let's just face it, I don't think OMI is going to reach $1 anytime soon. But if I'm going to think about making $1 million in OMI and just giving it an unlimited time frame, I would just think buying 1 million OMI is worth it. So right now that's what, like $1,000, $1,200 for 1 million OMI, something like that. Maybe less. At this point it could be less than that. But basically, if you're looking at that, would be at a 0.0001. It would be 1 million OMI would be about $1,000. So I think right now, since it's like a 0.85, it'd be like $850. So let's just say I buy 1 million OMI. I think it's going to go to $1 one day. Totally, that's why I would buy that many OMI. But at that point, and this is only on a slow accumulation, I'm not just going to go drop $1,000 on OMI in one sitting, and that's my 1%. So that's the thing I'm looking at, is I want to put 1% of my money into a highly risky asset like OMI, but then on something that's not as risky like Bitcoin or Ethereum, I want to have about 50%, about 25% and 25% of my total crypto portfolio put into 25% into Bitcoin, 25% into Ethereum, or 60-40, whatever. Just 50% of my entire investment should be into Ethereum and Bitcoin, and then it tapers down from there with other investments. That's really all I've got. Yeah, Wyre failed. It is what it is. They'll come up with a new payments program. It's not, Veve's not, hopefully not invested into Wyre, or doesn't have money locked up into Wyre or anything. Not, at least not too much. So hopefully they'll get that resolved, and they'll get in another payments company, and we'll just resume things like it always was. But you might need a little hope right now, some hopium. Just realize it's the bottom of the bear market, or around the bottom of the bear market. Just relax, hodl, accumulate, and just enjoy life. Oh, also, just on a side note, get to work. Go to work. I actually had to just leave my office because our power just went out. But you need to be working. You need to have an income. You need to find a way of increasing your income. You need to spend less than you make. You need to invest that money. You need to have an emergency savings. I say this stuff all the time, and I feel like every once in a while I come across a person who they don't like that advice, and they're trying to talk against it, but what they're really saying deep down inside is they don't want to change their behavior. They refuse to spend less money. They refuse to suffer for the sake of making more money and earning more money and saving more money and investing more money. But I mean, it is what it is. I can't force people to do safe money practices. And I had a guy flat out just say that he doesn't need to go back to work because he made a little bit of money on Veve, and he sold, and he made a profit, and he's living on his profits now. But he lost a job. He had a job. He lost his job, and then he's now buying Pokemon cards, opening Pokemon cards, like from a person who formally buys and sells Pokemon cards. For you to buy sealed product by the case and to open it, not on a YouTube stream, not for, like the average I think a person would make if they bought and opened every single sealed product that they bought. Like if you bought any sealed product, you opened it up, I think you will make about 50% of your money. That's not 50% profit. That is, you lose 50% of your money. And that's just due to opening the product. The product is more valuable sealed. It's a collector's item as a sealed product. Yes, Can you land a really rare card that'll triple, quadruple, quintuple your money instantly? Of course you can. But the odds of that happening is so rare, you're much safer buying a Pokemon sealed product, holding it for an extended period of time, and then selling it to collectors who just don't have that current product at the moment. I do this with Disney pens. Some Disney pens, they might not be worth much because no one wanted them. And the Veve store, or Veve, the Disney store will get them, like the discount stores, and they'll sell them at a discount. And sometimes I'll go buy those, and they're limited editions. And they're legitimate, good, limited editions. And then 3 to 5 years later, all of a sudden, that item that I bought for less than retail is now selling for $10, $15 over retail, and I make a good profit on it. I basically just pretend that the shipping and the packaging is about $5 for a single Disney pen or a single Pokemon card. It's about the same. It's a little bit cheaper for the Pokemon card. I'll do a soft protector, hard protector, and then I do a bubble mailer, or I do a secured envelope. But those are all, the cards protected. I do really good photos on for my sales and stuff, so people understand the quality of the card they're getting, including white edges. And when I try to find different swirls and imperfections in the hollows, I really try to find the imperfections and highlight them in my photos, so that way someone has a true understanding of what they're about to buy. Now, I don't do that because I'm trying to sell it and then someone's like, oh, well, this one's scratched, I don't want it. I do that because when I list a lot of my Pokemon cards or Disney pens, I list them for a higher value than the floor, than the cheapest one. And then collectors can come along, kind of check out what they like, and they'll look at the photos and they'll spend more money on a higher quality card. They will. It happens all the time. Just like in Veve, if you were to, let's say, get something on drop and you go to flip it, I never ever list for what the base price is. I always list it for about, I would say, 5 to 10 gems more or something, depending on the item. Sometimes we'll list it 20 gems more if it's an expensive sought after item. And then usually it sells out within a minute or two anyways. But that's just due to sometimes people don't want to try to fight for the bottom of the barrel, so they'll just buy a slightly more expensive one because it's more convenient. So in physical items, you'll spend more for a higher quality. In digital items, you'll for lower mint or more convenience. I guess that's it. But yeah, so the moral to it is go back to work. Stop wasting your money that you do have. You need to take the money you have, and that money needs to be saved and invested, and then you need to generate more money. You need to earn more money. So earn more money that comes from having a job or owning a business, and then hodl your stuff, invest your stuff, but don't be young. Don't be 35, 40, 45. Don't be young, like that young, and sell out your stuff and then live off the fat. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you made millions of dollars. You made $10 million. And you're a frugal person, so you think you can live forever on $10 million. So you're 35, 40 years old, so you think you're retired now? No, go to work, take that $10 million or whatever, go invest it into the safest thing you can, use some of it to buy a business. I wouldn't recommend going out and buying expensive sports cars or anything like that, but definitely invest into the future of your family. You might have the money to retire, you might have millions of dollars, but your kids may not. So it's just a good idea to keep working. Now, spend time with your family, don't neglect your family, but it's good to work. It is bad for a man especially to be idle, sitting around doing nothing. I think it's bad for all of us to sit around and do nothing. So go to work, save your money, don't waste your money, don't pretend you're making money on something that you're not making money on, and hodl, diamond hand. And if it goes down, it goes down. You know, maybe harvest some tax losses at the end of the year. That's okay, but don't do much. Just do enough to give yourself a little tax break, but nothing that would ever negatively affect your overall portfolio for investment purposes. So I guess that's it. That's all. Thank you for joining me. Again, nothing I say is financial advice. A little bit of a ramble, little vlog today, but you know, my name's Crypto Corey. I'm going to thank you, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good day.